you'll want to go ahead and, first things first, save your presentation. Click on the radio button at the top, Save As. You want to make sure you're saving this in your My Documents folder, and then label it with your last names, both of you in the group. And then label it Crusades Project. Okay, go ahead and save that. Once you've saved it, you'll notice that it'll appear up here. That way you know that you are saving your file to the correct location. You'll of course want to follow the protocol for adding title, image, the title, and the other items that are required on your very first slide. So I would put make sure you put your name on it. And then inserting a new slide is pretty easy. Click New Slide. It'll ask you what kind you want. I would certainly refrain from making an image a background. I will show you how to do that, but it's really not recommended. So I think you might want the To Content type of box, and then say this is the first crusade. You'll want to put in some detailed information. Follow the rubric. It will tell you what you need. In here, if I would like to insert a picture from a file, it's pretty simple. I just click on this, and then it will bring up, for me it went to my Pictures folder. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to go to my desktop, which is where I placed my Crusades PowerPoint. Yours will be in your My Documents folder, and I'll insert the Richard the Lionheart picture. Okay? And remember that Word document that we had? What I'd like for you to do is to make sure that you cite where the image is from by copying and pasting. When it pastes the, pasted both, it will paste the text pretty small. Boo. There we go. Let me turn that around. Somehow I got it. Alrighty, it'll paste in its own text box. So you want to resize that text box, and you want to drag it down to the bottom. You certainly could resize the picture. If you want something very specific in the picture, I don't really need all this background. If you double click on a picture, it will bring up the picture format tools, and you can go to crop. Once it gets the square edges around it, you can bring this in, and you can then crop your picture. I really would only like that part. Once you're done cropping, click outside of it, and then it'll give you the circles to resize again. Okay? Then, obviously, when you're done with your PowerPoint, you want to make sure that you go back in and save it. And then you will need to hand your PowerPoint in to your teacher's hand-in folder. For those of you that wish to add a background, add an image as a background, I don't highly recommend this as it can be very visually distracting. You need to choose the right image. It needs to not have a lot of color variation, and it needs to be a relatively simplistic image in order to create an effective background. So I think I've found one that I'm going to put in. In order to do that, what you want to do is right click, and then you want to say Format Background, left click of course that. It's going to then ask you what you want to fill it with. We're going to do picture, and then you need to you need to get it from a file. And I've chosen, of course I went straight to my folder. If it does not, you need to make sure you go into your Crusades PowerPoint folder, choose the image that you would like to insert, insert that image, and it does have stretch options. Obviously this particular image was quite a bit larger, so you can reduce the size by decreasing the top and decreasing the bottom. And also the right and the left to help maintain the aspect. The aspect just means that it doesn't look stretched out either vertically or horizontally. And I'm going to try to get the whole image on the slide by working with this. I'll stretch it just a little bit so you can see what it looks like. Now, what you want to do in order to be able to type on top of this is you need to set the transparency. Notice how the greater the transparency, the lighter the background becomes. So I usually find somewhere around 50%, between 50 and 60% usually is a good way to go. And I'm going to say close. You do not want to apply this to all. You want to only have it on one particular slide. So this would be the emblem of the Third Crusade on the Christian side. And then you would, of course, insert your text box on top of this. You'll need to stretch it, of course. And then this is where you would type. Your information. And then you could, of course, certainly insert bullet points. And then when you're finished, as you can see, the text appears above the image, so the image has been based in the background. And as you can see, it is very important that you choose the proper image in order to be able to have your text be able to be readable. You may need to enlarge your text, and you may also need to make your text bold, because that will make it stand out a little bit more. It'll set that image to the background a little bit more. So that is adding an image as a background.